Hey everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be a good one between the New York Giants and the San Francisco 49ers. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the so-called Silicon Valley and Levi Stadium in Santa Clara. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New York Giants and the San Francisco 49ers. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Godden alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at these 49ers as they interplay here. They come off a disappointment last time out that put an end to their modest 3-game win streak. On the other side of the field for the visiting Giants, they've come in on a nice run of recent form. 4 wins out of 5. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. And a look here at their go-to guy under center.
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on, we know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here.
And what was so funny, what the offensive coordinator say right off the top, he's got great footwork. Love his footwork. So this guy is never satisfied.
He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at 2nd down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. From the gun, McClellan. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A gain of 10 and a 49er first down. In last week's game for Kittle, there are the numbers. 4 catches, 65 yards.
And they think they have a matchup advantage in this one. They're going to try and find some space for him to work and make sure he touches the football.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. A look at the starters now on the defensive side of the ball for the Giants. They find themselves just a couple of spots outside of the top 10 defending the pass, number 12 in the league.
And since this is such a good unit of covering passes downfield, I think that last play is typical of what we might see. A lot of short passes, see if they can generate some run after the catch, but nothing doing on that one.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Now a give, right side. It's Ramsey. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down. All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers putting up their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Go. Ready.
On 1st down, Ramsey. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. He'll get 17 on that one, and the Niners have a 1st down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script, you go through your play calling, you go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Chris Jones able to drop him for a loss of 4 from his defensive tackle spot.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. 2nd and 14. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Dexter Lawrence, he's the one that drops him this go-around, and that pass rush getting strong here, back-to-back sacks. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback because...
And the pressure gets to him again.
They can't stop us, baby. Every time it's a sack. Come on, fellas.
And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. So on 4th down, here's the Australia native Mitch Wishnowski to punt this one away. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. That'll be out of bounds, and how good was that? They'll say the 3-yard line. That's where they spot it.
That's double win there, partner. You keep out of the return man's hands, and you pin him inside the 5-yard line. Pretty darn good.
And here comes the Giants offense back out onto the field. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position, backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a 1-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur.
On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. And he gets this up just shy of the 15. It's a gain of 11 and a Giant 1st down.
I guess it's good we can't really read the mind of the defensive coordinator now, huh?
Had him pinned back there deep, give up that run. Can't be happy.
Yeah, whatever's in his mind right now, we probably couldn't say over the air.
Quick throw into the hands of Hopkins out wide. And he'll go down after losing yardage at the 10. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14. Throwing on 2nd and 14. Prescott got his man there. It's Wallace complete. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Now here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. It's a Giant 1st down on a gain of 16.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. and reading your keys. You always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. A first down carry for Barkley. He takes us from the 30 to the 34. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 17 carries, 81 yards, and a touchdown.
Well, this is where it becomes a challenge for the offensive coordinator. He's got a bell cow at tailback right now, number 3 in the league in rushing, within shouting distance of the lead. But at the same time, if the passing game is open, he's got to take advantage of that too.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Prescott. Pass hauled in by the 6'4" tight end Sternberger. And he gets it down deep into San Francisco territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 56 yards. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive going to plan so far. They'll run on first down. Barkley. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The defense showing some anger after giving up the big play. This time they'll lose 1 or 2.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines have the pass block.
And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Saquon Barkley with touchdown number 8 on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym, preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Rosas good with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Rosas now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. They'll be looking to match that touchdown from a moment ago. 7-0 is the score as they begin with a first down.
Here we go, here we go. 10-2 stop. Watch the run, watch the run. Come.
They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. They'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. 8 more yards this time coming off back-to-back first down pickups. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Henry. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Well, we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yards.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. The 20, 10. And this is taken into the end zone. A fumble recovery and a Giants touchdown. And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
PAT up and good by Rosas. And it's now 14-0. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. He completes it to Henry. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. He'll get 17 on that one, and the Niners have a first down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there. Getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. On 2nd down now, it's Henry, and he is down at the 48. A pickup of 4 that started at one 48-yard line and ended at the other. The Niners on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you should have a few men in the box there.
They go play action here on 1st down. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 15 for the Niners there and a 1st down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. George Kittle, the receiver that he was looking for. That'll bring up 2nd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up. On 3rd and 2, McClellan. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. From 13 yards out, as they are now on the board here in the first half.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. And that one makes it 14-7. So the drive goes 75 yards, 10 plays, and it's polished off by a touchdown for San Francisco. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. This is taken at his 4. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. And we check the rushing numbers so far here into Week 6, and the returns have been really good. Now, you're starting to hit that stride middle of the season toward the end. They're certainly hoping they can keep up this production.
They are, because one of the adages in the NFL is that defense travels and defense endures even in bad weather, right? You know what else does? A good running game. And people want that, especially as you head down this stretch. You may play outdoors in some nasty stuff. You're trying to get to the playoffs. This is the time to get it going. And individually, I don't think you should just think about 1,000 yards either. The bar has to be set higher with this beginning.
Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Prescott to throw it. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Prescott. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation. And there, the defense won the battle. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And the Giants send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the 2nd quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. 2nd and 11. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run.
I think it's pretty safe to say that initially they had to be thinking about trying to get into field goal range. But after that shot right there, they've got to be thinking bigger right now.
And that was probably their thought offensively. If we hit this, great, let's go for the end zone. If not, settle for a field goal. Looks like they can try to hit pay dirt. Looking to complete it to Pettis, and he's got him. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Dante Pettis, his 4th touchdown on the year. as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. The call is to go for one and kick the extra point. And we've got a good one brewing. We're all knotted up at 14. A four-play drive spanning 80 yards. And the end result for the 49ers, a touchdown. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. This is taken at the 3. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. New York set to take the field. And we're under a minute to go here. What's been an even first half all tied up.
Yeah, still time to make something happen, too. A couple completions, you string them together, could get into field goal range. Let's see what happens.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And the catch made by Hopkins. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now Prescott. That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. Prescott now from the 50. He dumps it off to Barkley. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down.
Not only did we just see back-to-back nice gains, but we're also seeing the confidence rise, not just for the guy who caught it, but the guy throwing it as well.
And these back-to-back catches here out of the backfield, that can set something up downfield in a later sequence, right?
A lot of the time, it starts to draw the defense closer to the line of scrimmage. So to your point, show this swing pass, show this check down. Maybe later on you heave one deep when you catch them close to the spot.
Prescott now nearly perfect. 9 of 10 in this first half. It's 1st and 10. He's got his man on the crossing route. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. Aldrick Rosas now to try the Giants field goal. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And Rosas puts this one through. And they take a 17-14 lead. So we will not go into the lockers tied. We do have a leader in the clubhouse, so to speak.
Yeah, it's only 3 points. Doesn't seem like much, but it looms big the way that they got it done right before the half ended.
After the field goal, here's Rosas to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports halftime report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started up at Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati. where you see the final score there. James Washington, a touchdown catch in the victory. From there, it's up to New Era Field in Orchard Park to check on the Bills. And they were losers in that ball game to the visiting Cleveland Browns. Baker Mayfield, 4 touchdown passes in the victory. And finally, on Monday Night Football, should be a good one there, between the Carolina Panthers and the New Orleans Saints. In the game you're watching, you've seen a strong first half out of Dak Prescott. His guys lead, though by only a field goal. Still anybody's game, as we send it back to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. Second half ready to get rolling. The Giants with a lead, and they are set to receive this kick. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. So now the Giants set to take over on offense. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. Second half begins with a run from Barkley. Takes this to the 27, give him 4 yards.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
They'll go to Barkley again. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Now Prescott. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Something we haven't really seen much of from him, an incomplete pass.
Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way because a quarterback on his back usually can't complete a pass.
And the Giants send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the second time. That's a 49-yard punt, 8 though on the return. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Here's a 2nd and 7. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. First down, San Francisco. The pickup, 14 yards.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
This quarterback now 11 of 16 through the air. It's 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, McClellan, and he rifles one incomplete. Trent Taylor, the one he was looking for, and it's 2nd down. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have any options to throw the football.
Very little chance that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Throwing again, McClellan. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
Keep it up, defense. Keep it up, guys.
Throwing on 3rd and long. McClellan, he's going to wind up and air it out. Oh, I can't hang on to it. Almost intercepted. They would have loved the first pick of the game there, but at least it does get them to 4th down. When they need to play on 3rd down, you kind of know what direction the ball's going, but the defense knew it too.
Yeah, it's a good call because they wanted to put 2 men on him, and they did. Dare him to throw into double coverage. Really what you're saying is, let's see if one of your other receivers can beat us.
Fair catch called for and made right at the 25-yard line. They'll call that a 33-yard punt with no return. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. New York set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Looking to throw. Prescott. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. On 3rd down, it's Prescott. Making the catch is Sternberger. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, like hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get into that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. The 49ers offense making its way back out there. We have not seen much on offense from either side. These last few drives, it has been a struggle, hasn't it?
Totally, and you're thinking to yourself right now, if you're on offense trying to get things figured out, okay, we self-scout every week in our game plan. How many things do we do at certain times? What are our tendencies? Time to go to some of those tendency breakers and try and create some offense.
They always have those in their back pocket, don't they?
You have to, and if you don't keep abreast of what you're doing, you lock into a rhythm and make it easy for the opposition.
Looking for tendency breakers right now. To throw on 2nd down. McClellan, and that is incomplete. That was DeAndre Baker that time who was able to break that one up.
Well, Brandon, all receivers are trying to make sure that the defender thinks they're going to the middle of the field when they're running the outcut. And that play didn't get it done very well because that one was batted down.
He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. A big play there for the Niners. And a very appropriate gain as well, 49 yards. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. A good response by the defense, sending them backwards after that huge gain last play.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. The Niners passing game in sync now. They've got another 1st down.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a 1st down with a nice throw.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. 2nd and 9 now. forced out to his left. And he's in for the 49ers score.
This was a pass all the way, but he just kept buying time, didn't he? It was kind of like, wait. Oh, it's open. Time to hot-foot it and go. And, boy, was he successful.
Yeah, didn't go to the outside toward the pylon, just straight ahead, middle third of the field.
Shortest distance between 2 points. Straight line.
The extra point splits the uprights, and that will make this a 4-point game. So this drive spans 7 plays and a 9-yard run on the end of it. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
so
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Prescott from the gun. He's able to find Wallace. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Prescott now. 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Now Saquon Barkley. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47. One quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Second and 5 now. Prescott to the tight end and complete. It's Sternberger over the middle. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a 1st down. Charles, this one not over, certainly, but you set the magic number earlier in this game at 20 points. Said that they would need to hold them right around that marker under it. What are you seeing here?
Well, that number is still in play because we said, okay, 20 or under gives them a chance to win. Right on pace for being in that range. And guess what? They've got a shot.
20! It's complete to Hopkins. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Giants are going to jump back in front. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Rosas good with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The drive summary that time, 5 plays, and it was polished off by a Giants touchdown. Now after After the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. And the 49ers getting set to trot out there. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start, here's another 1st and 10. Off play action. McClellan taking a shot for Samuel. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Jabril Peppers, the former first-round pick, there on the coverage. They were trying to erase that deficit in one play.
They certainly were, but how about the reaction time and the instincts back deep to force the incompletion? We might need to mark this one down. We may look back and say, that was a game-saving play.
Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
To throw on 3rd down, McClellan. Open man is Pettis. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Off the play fake. McClellan flush to his right. And now he's going to use his legs. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a 1st down.
How many times have we seen this late in the 4th quarter? Because you know the pass rush is getting after him, and they get upfield, get that great push, and what do they create? Space, and he takes off.
Well, we had a number of good games in the afternoon sessions, but this Sunday nighter might top them all. So we come up here on 1st and 10. Running from the gun with Henry. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Back to throw. McClellan nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Chris Jones, his 2nd sack of the night.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
The Niners on 3rd down. They've hit on 6 of their 8 tries. Very good. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Looking to throw. McClellan. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the 1st down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And his kick is good. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. I tell you, the life of a kicker. He has not been called on the entire game. He's over there by the net, but they send him out here in the 4th quarter and say, hey, go tie the game, will you? And guess what? He comes through.
I just don't know how they do it. I really don't. These cats are a different breed from you and me. That's a pressure kick, but that one was never in doubt.
separating these two sides. 24 all our score as he sends this one away. This is taken at his 4. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The Giants offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that'll help set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Getting the sack, the 227-pound linebacker, Quan Alexander.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to get there.
So a big one coming now for Aldrick Rosas. This for the lead in the final stages. Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And they have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes. Big kick right there to give them the lead in the fourth, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they managed the clock exactly right.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. He's been pretty good when he's had time. The issue is, as we see here, a lot of times he hasn't had the time.
And a lot of that in getting past it is attitude. How's he projecting? Is he showing that the other team is getting to him? Is he showing his guys up front that he's upset, that he's angry? Or is he still encouraging? Because those guys, they've got to find a way to pick it up. And it always happens a little bit better if they felt the quarterback's on their side.
So far, 5 sacks against him. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Back to throw. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. Trying to defend the out route there, got the PI call.
And you know what's difficult about that one is sometimes you want to make the undercut move and go for the football, and other times just want to hang on the upfield shoulder and make the tackle. I think he got caught in between and created a foul.
They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw. Deep, and that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, 49ers. Dante Pettis, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the 49ers have retaken the lead. Might be seeing that one on the highlight shows tonight. The home run ball here in the 4th quarter to take the lead.
There's nothing like being aggressive, preaching that to your team, and then following through. All the way through. Go ahead and throw one more up there. Why not?
Been a great game, and we are not done yet. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And that will make this a 4-point game. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
Let's go.
So Dak Prescott in the offense. Down 31-27, a minute 36 to go. They've surrendered a double-digit lead, but can rescue themselves late as they come up on first down. He'll look to throw. Pass hauled in by the 6'4" tight end Sternberger. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. He's back to throw. Oh, Prescott stripped. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And this defense has broken it open as they return it to the house for 6. This was a close game. They needed a little breathing room, where they got it right there on that return for a touchdown.
Yeah, we would say that this could be huge. Forget it. It was huge. Gave him a comfortable lead.
Now the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go. Let's go.
The Giants offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And that last possession, really a gut punch. You seemingly had it working. You were in the midst of a very strong drive. Then suddenly the fumble, and you're watching the back of a defender's jersey as he brings it all the way in the other direction.
There's not much more I can add to that. I thought you summarized it perfectly, partner. You just got to regroup and start putting another drive together. That's all you can do.
And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. A very good gain on first down, 9 yards on the dump off.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Throwing again on second down. Prescott gets this out to Saquon Barkley. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. That one a first down pickup of 8. Here's Prescott to Barkley on the check down. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this fourth quarter. Looking to throw again on second down. Prescott nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game. Third and long for Prescott. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in.
Let's go, baby.
The Giants going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. Prescott going to come up 1st and 10, and he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Play action now, Prescott. He finds Hopkins complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total. Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they can look at on film, don't you think?
No doubt about it. And they've got to go back and check where the errors are, how they're going to fix them, and continue to get better at what they do. But they also need a little adjustment with their confidence. To give up that many points, even if you win a game, that can hurt you.
So for San Francisco, their good start continues as they get their record up to 4-2. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Seattle Seahawks. Meanwhile, for the Giants, the loss will drop them to 4-2 on the year. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head to Dallas to take on the Cowboys. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.
Hey, everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. On tap, we've got what should be a fairly intriguing matchup between the San Francisco 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
With the beautiful Puget Sound just to our west, you get a look inside CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the San Francisco 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. And they'll be led out by the guy under center, Charles, their quarterback.
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will be a focus in this one.
Yeah, they don't want it all just heaped on his shoulders, I don't believe. I think they want to make sure they take some of the pressure off. Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. From the gun, McClellan. Escaping the pressure right. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. And the starting crew now for San Francisco.
So let's all work together on this one because it's natural to just watch the football. But I want all of us to watch the center of this offensive line, the center and the 2 guards. They've got to be able to control the point of attack, and they didn't do such a good job on that last play. Plenty of opportunities to redeem themselves. They'll have to take advantage of that and start to make progress.
Back to throw. McClellan steps away to his left. The ball comes out, and this is going to get out of bounds, so they will gain a bit of yardage on the play, actually, and they'll hold on to the football as well.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. If the ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
Oh, able to avoid him. Almost out-kicked his coverage there. 48-yard punt, but 10 on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be stopped here on this first play as he gets it to the line of scrimmage and no more. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Get in the weight room.
Now Wilson. Well, the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first. On first down, Benjamin. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. A loss of 2 there, second down. We know this offense, they're built around passing the football. That time, the running game didn't suit them so well.
Not so well, but they have to do it every so often. You have to be able to control the pass rush a little bit, make them somewhat hesitant before they come and get your quarterback. At least have the illusion that you have a running game.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And they get him behind the line, so that short gain on first down quickly negated. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
3rd and long. It's Wilson. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up 4th.
And that's a crusher right there. Had his man open for a first down, threw a fastball when that wasn't necessary, incomplete pass. One of these quarterbacks going to learn, you don't get extra points for how hard you throw the football.
And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
The numbers for him from a week ago, 10 carries, 63 yards.
And well liked by his teammates. In fact, I got on good authority, even though I'm not an investigative reporter, that in their team meeting this week, the offensive line stood up and said, Coach, we've got to have better yardage for this guy. He's number 9 in the league. He's got to be in the top 3 before the season's over. Let's run the ball.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. McClellan, man open. That's Deebo Samuel. Call it a gain of 5, and it'll make it a 2nd down. This is how the defense will line up for Seattle. Against the pass, they're hoping to trend in the opposite direction. Right now, they're ranked number 26 in the NFL.
When they lack in pass defense, they do make up for in run defense. They're a top 10 unit against the people trying to move the ball on the ground. But this is a passing league, so there's a conundrum for them. How do they get better defending the pass?
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Looking to complete it to Pattis, and he's got him. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. And it'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, McClellan. Quick throw here, that's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. He'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
They'll try the left side. It's Ramsey. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. A gain of 10 and a 49er first down. And that's his longest run of the first quarter. And Charles, we talked before the game about them needing to establish the run game. They'll be looking for more of that.
And they got to the perimeter. So that tells me that that's part of the game plan of what they want to get done today. So they'll have some complimentary runs where he'll run it to the inside. But it appears that when they want the big yardage, they think they can get to the outside and make it happen. Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to float from his inside spot and stop that one to the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. Now they go screen. It's complete. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. Now that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize that it's broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the first down on 3rd down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
Deebo Samuel was the intended receiver. After the penalty, it's Henry. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. The first drive this unit had, they punted. This drive, much more polished, just looking crisper, aren't they, moving the ball?
Maybe the first drive was a little bit of a wake-up call. Probably a little bit angry that they had to punt the ball away the first time they had it. Got motivated, got to the sideline, said, okay, let's not let that happen here as we take over again.
A good pickup there, 7 yards. It's going to be 2nd and goal now. No score after 1 on EA Sports. They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. This stadium once registered as the loudest roar ever recorded, and you can hear them now. 3rd and goal. From the gun, McClellan. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage, after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
And his kick is indeed good. And the 49ers take a 3-0 lead. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you can console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. This one a little slow to get cooking, just a 3-0 scoreline as they begin with a 1st and 10. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. That's into the hands of his tight end, Will Dissly. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. This is Carson.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Wilson after the play fake to Carson. And he's got his man on the out route. 10 yards in the Seattle first down.
When you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
On 3rd down, Wilson. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers 40.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
On 2nd down now, Benjamin. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Early down stuff will put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this day, has got to be priority 1.
They're 2 for 2 on 3rd down conversions on this drive. This one tough. They need 9 yards on 3rd down. Wilson, he'll find Metcalf, and he's going to get this inside the 30. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers 26.
I don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Now Wilson completes it to Benjamin. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and it's a 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make
pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Nick Bosa in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
You know, a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. Throwing is Wilson. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Here's Wilson. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawks touchdown. DK Metcalf with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Seahawks have taken the lead.
They went 5 wide in that offensive set. And racing going 3 wide's a big deal. To go 5, how about the way that they finish things off?
Did you just fit a race car reference into the game?
Zoom, zoom. How about the way that you play? When you go 5 wide, that means you're going fast now.
Zoom, zoom indeed. On here, Brandon McManus for the point after. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. So that drive spans 13 plays, and it all culminates with a Seattle score. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Field now, here come the 49ers. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that'll help him in contract time. You could have kick that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super tall.
18 yards, first down Niners. Sensational he was last week, over 200 yards, and the simple quote that we saw this week was, keep him in front of us. They're going to have to do that.
And when they say that, it means tackling him after the catch, because once he makes the catch, you may catch it in front, but if you don't tackle him, he's behind you at that point, and that's how he racks up the big yardage.
So they had the big loss on that first down pass play, and facing a second and long. 2nd and 14. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Off-play action. McClellan. He rifles one. It's intercepted. Trevor Williams with a pick. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49.
Well, it's 3rd down. You're in a tight game in the loudest stadium in the NFL, and it's enough to rattle even the most seasoned of quarterbacks. And here, it looks like he's not quite on the same page as his receiver. This will wind up a turnover.
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. Well, what do you think? You get the ball off the turnover near the middle of the field. You take a shot here on the first play?
You know I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position after a turnover. I feel like I might have them a little bit off balance. I prefer to take a shot, but a lot of coaches will tell you, you only do it if you trust the guy who's got the football in his hands. Meaning, if it's not there, he won't force it downfield. It may turn into an interception. He'll go to the check down, go to a second option, and go and take the play that's in front of him.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. To throw is Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
He's checking.
Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. This one into the hands of Metcalf. A good pickup there at 22. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, you need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there is they were able to connect. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Let's go deep, tighten up. Let's go deep, tighten up.
Wilson will throw again. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
McManus now for the extra point. this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. So that drives 7 plays in length. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think...
And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll start over at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. Robert Woods, a touchdown catch in the victory. From there, we'll keep the Florida theme going as we head north to check on the Jags at home in Jacksonville. And no one went home happy after this one, as it ends in a rare tie. And finally, a good one on Monday Night Football between the Denver Broncos and the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. This one fielded at the 5. Then he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. So here are the Seahawks ready to take over on offense. They're working on a 4-game winning streak, and they lead this one as well right now as they start 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on first down. It's caught. Lockett. Room here to run. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
The previous play is under review.
We got this. Touchdown, Seahawks.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Wilson over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him. Find him. Find him.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Now it's Wilson. Now the Niners get there and bring him down. Nick Bosa racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. From the gun, it's Wilson. He's going to let this one go deep. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there. That brings up 4th. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
And this punt sails over the sideline, and the spot, it looks to be right at the 25-yard line. Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Open man is Pettis. It's complete. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free, anything you can do to slow them down.
And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go for the 40. Now Wilson to throw again. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. The intended receiver was DK Metcalf. 3rd down here. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
Sheds a 2nd man.
He's building up some momentum, isn't he?
And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
So on now is Brandon McManus. He has hit from as far away as 57, but that was in Denver. They'll spot it at the 47. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
I'll bet you as they ran out there for that play, the head coach either on his headset or he pulled him aside until the special teams coordinator, whatever block you've got, pull it out of the bag right now. We need a spark.
Well, you could just feel it on their sideline. The air just kind of out of the balloon. Now maybe you're right, a spark, a little bit of hope.
That's when the special teams coordinator who works on this ad nauseum, I'm talking about morning, noon, and night, he tried to figure out, okay, where's my best opportunity? Which one do I have? And he pulled the right one and got his team going and hopefully back into the game.
And throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. They'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. Just 20. A very solid gain of 27.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen. It turned into a really nice play.
Back to the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
That means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Well, they go play fake. Problem is, nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Operating from the gun, McClellan. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's fourth down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
So he splits the uprights and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good three-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
So the lead trimmed down to 8 as here comes the kickoff, and it's away. This is taken at his 4. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawks offense now getting set to go again. And you think he personally is evaluating his game so far? He was pretty good in the first half and good so far here in the third quarter. He's got to like it, right?
Not looking for the dramatics here. Not trying to set the world on fire in terms of stats. It's almost like you're driving. Hands at 10 and 2. Alert for anything out there. Watching for trouble on the road and making sure you get the team home.
The bus driver. See if he can drive the bus here again on this drive. That's a jet sweep into the hands of Metcalf. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. Wilson now off the bootleg. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Harrison Smith on the safety blitz, able to get the sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him, but don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
Well, they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
And nobody leaked. Big play. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's 2nd and 8. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Back to throw. McClellan firing quickly here, and that's complete. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 23. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage, so they're going to throw the football.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. One quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. 2nd and long. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Trevor Williams with a pick.
Brandon, offensively, this has been a tough day for him. Trying to find a place to throw the football. It's been extremely difficult. I've got to give a lot of credit to the secondary, especially the corners who've had the receivers on lockdown.
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. Now listen, it's a team game, we know that, but where would these guys be right now, Charles, without their defense? So they take over here following the turnover. Defense did it again, but on offense they have to feel like, hey, we need to do something.
You're exactly right, and you just mentioned it. The defense did it again. They bailed them out on a number of occasions in this contest. It's time for them to repay the defense.
It got his man complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That one good for 37 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
Now a nice play defensively on 1st down as this is knocked away and incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
Check back.
Wilson throwing again. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 23.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
They'll run on 1st down. Benjamin. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3.
And Brandon, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
Benjamin's got it, and he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. Yeah, the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. McManus's point after is good, and the lead is up to 15 now. That time a 6-play drive, and it all culminates with a Seattle score. This will be fielded at the 6. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah.
Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Charles, not to point fingers those on the shoulders of the offensive line. We're looking at 6 sacks last week. That's the 4th in this game.
Definitely the bulk of it does go on the offensive line. That's what they're tasked with doing, keeping their quarterback upright and clean in the pocket. But I think they have to look at, okay, are we bringing in extra people? Is the ball out of the quarterback's hands quick enough? There are a few other factors that they have to look at to try and help out. But you're exactly right. It starts with the O-line.
And able to use his stiff arm for a little bit of leverage before he's taken down. A pretty good game. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Under 4 to play now. Clock running. 3rd down. Looking to throw. McClellan looking to complete it to Pettis, and he's got him. Catch number 44 on the year. It's a 1st down. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo. In this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
They go play action here on 1st down. He's going to loft one deep left side here, and that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe you can expect more passes like that down the field. Flushed out right, and his throw's going to be incomplete.
And we just saw another example. These cornerbacks have played tight coverage all game long. Might start wanting to think about a few double, triple move routes to try and shake their guys free.
You're right, they have no room to breathe. The Niners on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times and 8 chances. This is 3rd and 10. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
And I think we'll probably see them go for it here on 4th down. No reason not to. Down a couple of scores, they have to try and make something good happen.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. On 4th down, McClellan eluding the pressure right. He may try and run for this. Now the ball comes loose, and the Seahawks have picked it up. Oh, he's got a little deadline. A huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It's a 2-possession game. It is a 2-possession game at this stage in the 4th. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in a touchdown. Maybe not many people are focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now defensively, you've almost got to get down into those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the passer.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something because right now, they're just cutting them to shreds.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. They'll keep it on the ground. Benjamin. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. And he's going to have this pretty close to a 1st down as the tackle is made at the Niners' 19-yard line.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee. And that means 4th down. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
Oh, Wilson going to throw. And it's caught at the 7-yard line. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. A great effort there. With his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Seahawks capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. When you talk about a battle being won in the trenches, that touchdown right there, a lot of credit to the offensive linemen.
Yeah, when you watch them surge across the front, they really created great space for the runner to get in.
Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. He's got it, and the lead swells. It's 28-6. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it's capped off by a touchdown run of 6 yards. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at the 3. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Now, I know it's an emotional game, Charles. You can't do that.
And when you get into your film sessions and you argue your case with your coaches, that's exactly what they say at the end. You just can't do it. It costs your team.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Big ass, big ass, big ass. Let's go.
On 1st and 10, McClellan. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
60 outlaw. Hurry!
Back to throw. McClellan. He's going to let it fly. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick.
So many times we end a game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it. The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee.
It's a loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11 at their 48-yard line.
Check. Watch 54. Watch 54.
Man, that's trash. That's trash.
Wilson wants to throw it. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it. Brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. So the victory here for Seattle, and it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire second half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them to just a field goal. That's a heck of a job. I mean, when they went out there with that determination and a pretty good game plan, pretty good idea of what they wanted to accomplish, just love the execution, love the tenacity, love the way they finished.
So for the Seahawks, they remain one of the hottest teams out there as the win moves them to 6-1. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Miami Dolphins. Meanwhile, for the Niners, the loss drops them back to 4-3 so far. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at MetLife Stadium with the New York Jets. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.